side, you know, so she was beside the ambassador. And that is why we can never ever forget, you know, her doggedness and the invaluable advice that she gave us, and also helped in assisting the ambassador.
Certainly, it was a courageous, not only a courageous position to take. Many people can't take a position, but to actually be seen, identified with that position, both in public pronouncements, in the kind of people he chose to associate with, his lack of hesitation in being seen with such people, even though this was not palatable to the government at the time. Yes, it was a courageous position to take. He never hesitated to demonstrate his Africanness. He also, on the lighter side, well, not so light, but the circumstances which made me recognize this talent which he has is that he's a very gifted orator. And the circumstances when I discovered this were not very happy ones, because it was really during the funeral ceremony, the funeral proceedings of our late friend Bola Ige, that I discovered what a passionate orator he can be. And of course, even before then, I'd heard him speak at a number of our events in the United States. We were mobilizing against Abacha's despotism and his brutality in Nigeria. He came to speak at a number of our events, but I hadn't, and he spoke with passion, with total commitment, but it was a different kind of passion, a very emotional and really angered kind of passion with which he spoke at Bola Ige's funeral. And I still remember that very distinctly. And additionally, that is the kind of person he is, a very loyal, somebody who's really loyal to his friends, to his ideas, to those who share his ideas. And he flew back especially for Bola Ige's funeral, just when he delivered his very emotion-laden address at the stadium in Ibadan. So there he is, a very warm personality, very loyal, and as I said, with a deep sense of both history and his own antecedents. He chose to be identified with Nigeria, and he acted it.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say good evening to Ambassador Carrington, and it's been a great pleasure to be in a long line of dynamic American ambassadors that have served here in Nigeria. And certainly Ambassador Carrington, by far, is at the top of the line. I remember when I was a very young officer in the diplomatic corps, Ambassador Carrington was here as ambassador. And that was really my first time working in Nigeria, and first time also getting to know the work of Ambassador Carrington. During a period of, I would say, difficult relations between the United States and Nigeria during the military dictatorship years of the late President Abacha. And Ambassador Carrington did a terrific job of making sure that the voice of democracy and fairness remained here as part of our dialogue with Nigeria. He is remembered almost all over the country, particularly in the South and the Southeast, and also the Southwest. And I've had an opportunity to, follow in some of his footsteps in a number of locations. And so it's been always a pleasure for me as an ambassador to hear wonderful things said about a colleague and someone as well known and as a landmark figure in a lot of ways here in Nigeria. So I think certainly he did a tremendous job here during a very difficult period of time. He is well respected and well known in a lot of circles throughout Nigeria, but certainly I think he's most known for his voice on democracy and his voice on freedom of expression and freedom of association. And those really are the hallmarks of American values as well. And the United States and Nigeria share so many values across the board, and certainly those, to me, are the most important ones. And those are the legacies, those voices, and that spirit is what Ambassador Carrington left here.
Ambassador Carrington's sojourn in Nigeria was not just all duty. He was so enchanted with Nigerians that he met the love of his life, former Dr. Arese Ukpoma, a native of Benin City, a medical doctor and public health specialist. Nobody who has been privileged to meet them as a couple will miss the bonding, synergy, and most importantly, the enduring love between them. It is said that behind every successful man is a woman, but in Ambassador Carrington's case, the woman is right beside him, giving all the necessary support and encouragement. No wonder the ambassador today looks far younger than his age as a result of her tender care. Indeed, theirs is a marriage made in heaven.
Most black Americans come to Africa in search of their heritage. And I came and found my destiny.
The family is blessed with Thomas and Temisa.
I want to wish you a very happy birthday. You are so special to me. From the first time I met you, I knew I had met my soulmate. You understand the purpose of life, and together we have found a unique meaning. Life is a journey in which we must all define our own path. And if we're fortunate enough to find someone to thread the path with, it is a special blessing. I found you, my darling, and I feel thoroughly blessed. You, my darling husband, I thank you for the time we share, the love we share, and for our mutual understanding of the purpose of life. Of all the things that I treasure, none can measure to you, my dearest husband. Have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. I love you so, so much.
Long after the end of Carrington's tour of duty in Nigeria in 1997, the link and bonding with this nation continues to wax stronger.
June 4, this year, 2010, we were having Kudirat's anniversary and it was raining. I put a call through to him and he promised us, and that's one thing about him. Each time, unlike some of our people, that's one thing I want us to learn. If Ambassador Walter Carrington says he will be at a particular event, he will be there. Stickler to time, is focused, resilient, and at times unassuming. So when he gives that time, you are sure that he'll be there. We told him that day 10 o'clock, and he was one of the first, to get there in the rain. And when some people were still reluctant, you people don't, why is there no canopy? And the cenotaph, it will be very difficult for us to put canopy. I was even the one keeping him calm. I said, please, Ambassador, tarry a bit, soon. And he came out from the rain. The wife was also, with him. So when people see, it's not really a thing. There's a difference between theory and practical. All of us saw the real thing.
Today, in Lagos, a major street in Victoria Island has been renamed Walter Carrington Crescent. He was also honored Officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2003.
My hope is that now that civilian rule is back and the military is going to be permanently in the barracks and doing just what the military is supposed to do and not running the government, that Nigeria can return to the path that its founders, I think, wanted it to follow, to be the great nation that it can be, to overcome the climate and culture of corruption, to have leadership that will inspire the people to move forward. I mean, this is what I look forward to seeing, and that by the time I celebrate my 90th birthday, that all of this will have been realized.
Well, first of all, I think that this is a man who has done honor to this country. He has acted beyond the call of duty. It would have been convenient, I think, for such a man during the tenure of his service here to have simply mouthed what was the populist and popular ideas. But he didn't. I believe that what we experience as democracy today in this country owes a lot to the kind of contributions that Ambassador Carrington made during his tenure. I think it is beyond debate that he acted beyond the call of duty. He acted in the interest of the greatest black nation on earth. He acted as somebody who was a stakeholder. He was not just an ambassador visiting on a regular posting. He took the position of a stakeholder. This was at a time that you might recall that members of the American Senate were hobnobbing with that government, the military government of the time. And it was the work of people like Ambassador Carrington that ensured that those senators not only did they lose their seats, but that democracy as we know it today has finally found root. If you recall that all of the so-called 5 parties had, as it were, adopted one candidate. And we were headed for what would have been a story of untold human calamity of untold proportions if that had happened. We now have a voice in this country. We can call our leaders to question. We can ask as things change. And as this great African-American achieved this milestone of 80 years, we thought in Lagos that the least we could do